Coming up next, a showdown in the Ohio Valley Conference. Austin Peay takes on Tennessee State. The Governors trying to remain perfect in the conference. They're up next on ESPNU. Welcome to college basketball on ESPNU, presented by 5 Hour Energy as part of conference tip-off. Today, a clash in the Ohio Valley as Austin Peay takes on Tennessee State. Hi, everybody. Along with the coach, Mark Adams, I'm Roxy Bernstein, and welcome to Nashville. A big showdown here in the Ohio Valley Conference. Austin Peay off to a great start. Tennessee State trying to pull the Governors, Mark, back to the pack.
Well, and that's not going to be an easy task today. Austin Peay, the hottest team in the Ohio Valley Conference, at 6-0 with a 2-game lead. But I can assure you, Roxy, everybody in the OVC is rooting for Tennessee State today.
Well, one player, speaking of hot, that's leading Austin Peay, TyShwan Edmondson.
One of the great stories in college basketball, TyShwan Edmondson. This is a guy that was just another guy early in the season, was coming off the bench for Dave Luce. When Anthony Campbell, the leading scorer, went down for Austin Peay, TyShwan Edmondson became the leading scorer, not just on his team, but in the entire conference. And how about Kenny Moore? These are teammates from Midland Junior College in Texas. And Kenny Moore, the number 1 three-point shooter in the Ohio Valley Conference. He can light it up.
Look at the lineups for this afternoon's ball game. There's Austin Peay at 12-6. We talked about Edmondson, but Caleb Brown, the senior point guard, is really the guy who makes this team go, averaging 5.5 assists a game, second in the league. Tennessee State on the other side. We talked about Kenny Moore, but keep an eye on Robert Covington, a 6'9" deadly outside shooter. Tennessee State in the home whites with the blue numbers. The traveling red for Austin Peay, our officials, Scott Johnson, Jason Baker, and Quentin Reese. John Fraley to jump center. For Austin Peay wins the tip back. It's controlled by the Governors. Caleb Brown brings it across. And we are underway here in Nashville at the Gentry Center on the campus of Tennessee State.
Well, Tennessee State opening up, and man, watch for number 12 in red right there, TyShwan Edmondson. He leads the conference in scoring.
Left-handed stroke from Josh Terry. 6'5" junior from Henderson, Kentucky, gets Austin Peay on the board.
6 straight double-figure scoring games for Josh Terry. He has been hot of late for Austin Peay.
One of those great junior college transfers for Dave Luce. There's a whistle, and it goes out of bounds to Tennessee State. Just underway here in Nashville, the whiteout, as you see everybody in the stands just off on play. They're wearing white. Fans encouraged to wear white here in a big showdown, a rivalry between these two teams. As up top, Kenny Moore throws the ball away and a turnover for Tennessee State. Full court pressure from the Tennessee State Tigers. Ball into the backcourt, Josh Terry.
Well, this will be critical as to how Caleb Brown, right there, number 3 in red, how he can handle the pressure.
Here is Edmondson, his first touch. Penetration from Brown, gets inside, drops it off, shot blocked as Melvin Baker is rejected. Controlled by Michael Green, second in the Ohio Valley in block shots for Tennessee State. Moore can't handle the pass. Covington picks it up. 6 the jumper. We're tied at 2.
Well, I love that kid's game. Number 33 in white, Robert Covington. At 6'9", he can face up, shoot the ball, extremely skilled, and here comes the pressure.
They break it. Brown penetrates into the lane, and he's bumped by Will Peters, the junior from right here in Nashville. And the first foul called against Tennessee State. Tennessee State, the home team, in the white. Austin Peay in their traveling red. Overall, Tennessee State at 7-9. They're 4-2 in the Ohio Valley. Austin Peay is won 6 straight, looking for a 7-game win streak. Off the inbound, missing the shot inside Melvin Baker. Rebound Tennessee State, but Will Peters called for the walk, and the second turnover already committed by the Tigers.
Tennessee State, one of the most improved teams in the country, 4-14 1 year ago at the same time. 7-9 and 4-2 in conference play. John Cooper has this team incrementally getting better each week.
Here's Brown driving in from the right, forced back out by the freshman from Chicago, Patrick Miller. Here is Edmondson, a three on the way, too strong. And the rebound cleared by Tennessee State. Here comes number 2, Miller, into the front court. Here's a three, Patrick Miller. Long rebound, Covington falls down, but he's bumped. Do we have a foul? Yes, we do. Quentin Reese with the call. That's against Josh Terry, his first, and the first whistled against Austin Peay.
Expect to see a lot of three balls launched by the team in white today, Tennessee State. The top 3 three-point shooters in the OVC all play for Tennessee State.
Tennessee State not only shoots the three well, Mark, but they're a great shooting team in general.
Very skilled big guys. There's one of them right there, Robert Covington, number 33 in white. There's another skilled big guy, Kenny Moore, our Star Watch player. He can also load it up and bang the three ball.
Falling out of bounds, just throws it up over the top of the backboard. Wave it off, no basket. Tied at 2 as Moore just threw it up over the hoop there.
He literally throws it up over the backboard. Now, it's a good time to talk about this rule. If he had an angle where he could actually go over the backboard from the side, it would be okay, but going from the back over, that is a violation. We play on.
There's a travel inside as John Fraley walks in the key, and a turnover committed by Austin Peay. 2:16 into this one, still tied at 2. As Will Peters will bring it up against token pressure from the senior Brown. Miller lobs inside, Covington rattles out, gets his own miss, put back, blocked by Fraley, picked up again by Moore. That won't go, and it's finally taken away. Tennessee State again. Moore down the lane, leans in, hacked in the act, and one for Kenny Moore.
Tennessee State not known as a great rebounding team. In fact, they're getting out rebound by 1.2 rebounds per game. But Kenny Moore, Robert Covington, they simply stay with it. As all the white jerseys pursue the ball, gives Kenny Moore the opportunity for the three-point play and misses the free throw.
Free throw rattles out, 4-2 Tennessee State. As Austin Peay brings the ball up. Baker on the drive. Down the left, misses the shot. And the rebound cleared by Robert Covington. Here comes Tennessee State.
I really like the way Tennessee State is pursuing the glass on both the defensive end and offensive end early.
Penetration and kick. Peters a three. Rattles out. Rebound cleared by Baker for Austin Peay. Brown attacks the hoop. Inside, fouled. Shot won't go. Covington fouled him. That'll put Caleb Brown at the line to shoot a pair here. First on Covington, second on Tennessee State. 2 free throws. Caleb Brown is 67%er on the season.
Caleb Brown is the true leader and the reason why this team is 6-0 in Ohio Valley Conference play. He's averaged nearly 8 assists per game over the last 5 ball games. This kid has been dishing, making plays, making everybody else better on the court.
39 assists over the last 5 now for Brown, who's second in the Ohio Valley. Second shot, hits both. We're tied at 4.
Well, full court pressure from Austin Peay. They like to get out, play a little bit of trapping man in the half-court segment of the court.
Broken by Tennessee State behind the defense, and the throwdown for Robert Covington.
Complete lost vision in the press led to the easy basket as Covington got behind it.
The floater, Edmondson on the move. Can't get it to go, and Covington clears. Here comes Tennessee State. Peters races up the floor. Here's a three from the freshman Miller. Rebound inside by the other freshman in the starting lineup, Green. The give and go. Green has his shot blocked, but a foul on Austin Peay. Foul on John Fraley of the Governors. Thought he had the clean block. Officials didn't think so. Third team foul, the first committed by Fraley.
But again, the offensive glass work of Tennessee State has been an eye-opener early in this basketball game.
Subs come in. For Austin P, Marcel Williams, the 6'6 junior from Florida, makes his first appearance. As Fraley exits. And for Tennessee State, TyShwan Frederick is in.
Now Michael Green, one of those long guys, 6'9", only 210 pounds, long drink of water, that can affect the game defensively with his shot blocking ability and offensively with his quick hops to the offensive glass.
We'll keep it here. Austin P actually will have to throw in. Also in for the first time for the Tigers is Jaquan Nobles. Good outside shooter, a 6'4 sophomore from Greenville, North Carolina. Penetration inside. Josh Terry drops it off. Whistle. And a foul committed by Tennessee State. Fouls on Jaquan Nobles of the Tigers, his first. 3 now on Tennessee State. Off the inbound, losing the ball inside. Melvin Baker picked up by Frederick. And a steal for Tennessee State. In the front court, here's the freshman from Chicago, Patrick Miller. Frederick the pull-up. And the rebound cleared by Brown for Austin P.
So far, the #1 three-point shooting team in the OVC, Tennessee State, not able to draw blood from three-point line.
Timeout on the floor, 15:42 left, first half. Tennessee State up 3 early. Missing a foul. Welcome to Nashville, Tennessee, and welcome to college basketball on ESPNU, presented by 5 Hour Energy. As part of conference tip-off, today an Ohio Valley matchup. The Austin P Governors taking on Tennessee State here at the Gentry Center. Along with Mark Adams, Roxy Bernstein with you, and welcome inside the Gentry Center. Our conference tip-off continues. Austin P first place in the Ohio Valley, and Tennessee State, Mark, trying to pull the Governors back to the pack.
Austin P undefeated at 6-0 with a 2-game lead in the Ohio Valley Conference, and right now everybody in the OVC is rooting for Tennessee State to pull the Governors back to the pack.
6 straight wins for Austin P. We're off to a 7-4 lead for Tennessee State. 15:42 left in the first half, and a good start for Tennessee State.
Well, Tennessee State's been very, very active on the offensive glass. That basket did not count right there, but this is the offensive glass work that worked out well for Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore is the go-to guy, and then the full court pressure from Austin P as Covington able to get behind the defense. So far, it's been Tennessee State finding ways to score against what has been a stingy Austin P defense.
Here's your Ohio Valley Conference standings, and Austin P 2-game lead in the loss column on Morehead State, Murray State, Tennessee Tech, and of course Tennessee State. So that's why everybody is rooting for Tennessee State in the Ohio Valley other than the Austin P fans.
Well, Roxy, when you talk about the history of the Ohio Valley Conference, Austin P, Murray State have dominated. Morehead State is supremely gifted, but Tennessee State is the dark horse, becoming a racehorse in the OVC.
There's Dave Luce, the veteran head coach for Austin P. John Cooper on the Tennessee State side. That's Austin P in the red, they're traveling red. And Tennessee State in the home whites on what's termed as a whiteout here at the Gentry Center. Edmondson, the leading scorer in the Ohio Valley, averaging better than 18.5 a game. In the post, Marcel Williams howls his way inside of the rim. Can't get it to go, and the rebound cleared by Robert Covington. An active start for the Tennessee big man. Up the left side into the front court, Will Peters, junior from Nashville, Tennessee, running the point for the Tennessee State Tigers.
And there's Kenny Moore, number 15 in white. He's the #1 three-point marksman in the OVC. Even though he's a guy of size, he can stretch the defense with that ability to shoot the ball from three-point land.
Peters on the move. Trying for more in the pick and pop. 5 on the shot clock for the Tigers. Moore way outside. Desperation 3, and he hit it. Kenny Moore, 50% from downtown this season.
That was an NBA three-pointer. Kenny Moore has range.
Here's a 3 from Edmondson. Can't get that to go. Austin P, though, the offensive rebound with Josh Terry. And Caleb Brown sets it up in the half court for the Governors. Whistle off the ball. And a 3-second violation and turnover on Austin Peay. And Mark, here's what's at stake today.
Well, Austin Peay fighting for a 7-0 start. That'd be their best start since the 03-04 season. And Tennessee State looking for their best start since the 93-94 season. But more important than everything else, it's not the history, it's the present time. Austin Peay undefeated. Tennessee State trying to bring Austin Peay back to the pack.
Here's Jaquan Noble's entry pass inside. Moore turns middle, gets fouled. He'll go to the free throw line. As the foul committed by Melvin Baker of Austin Peay is first. You take a look at Dave Luce. 21st season at Austin Peay. An outstanding job. And the only head coach / athletic director in college basketball.
Yeah, 5 OVC Conference Coach of the Year awards.
Moore off to a rough start from the line. He's 0 out of 2 so far. 84% for the season. For Tennessee State, number 4 in the country in foul shooting.
And he's such a tough matchup, Roxy, because he can load it up from three-point land. We saw his ability to go in the paint, catch the ball, make a quick move to the basket. He is a very dynamic, scoring, power forward that can do a little bit of everything for John Cooper in Tennessee State.
Tennessee State by 7. Austin Peay having trouble offensively. And a turnover picked up by Jaquan Nobles for Tennessee State. 11-4 Tennessee State out to a terrific start against the first place Governors here at the Gentry Center.
And they've really not shot the 3-ball well. Kenny Moore knocked one down from about 24 feet. There he is again. Bingo!
Kenny Moore feeling it, his second 3 and a 10-point lead for the Tigers. Brown penetrates. Here's a Melvin Baker 3. No good. And over the back call against Austin Peay. There's John Cooper, the young head coach of Tennessee State in his second season here in Nashville. Longtime assistant. Worked at Auburn the last 5 years before coming to Tennessee State. Was at Oregon with Ernie Kent, also at South Carolina. He's doing a very good job so far, Mark, in his brief time at Tennessee State.
The progress of this team from 4-14 after 18 games a year ago, 7-9 and now 4-2 in the OVC, arguably the most improved team in the conference.
12-2 run for the Tigers. And a foul committed by Marcel Williams of Austin Peay. His first. Already 6 team fouls on the Governors. Dave Luce trying to find the right combination, brings in Will Triggs from his bench. 6'6" freshman from Edwardsville, Illinois. As Williams checks out. Here's Will Peters way out top. On the floor with the freshman Patrick Miller, Kenny Moore, Jaquan Nobles, and the freshman center Michael Green. Moore thought about it.
Watch the red jerseys defensively. They only defend to the three-point line. In Tennessee State, of course, they like to get out and knock down the 3-ball.
They might have to extend it the way Moore is shooting, well past that three-point line.
You definitely have to cheat to the three-point line against this ball club.
Nobles misses the 3, and the rebound cleared by Brown of Austin Peay. He drives in. Edmondson has yet to get on the scoreboard. 10 straight points by Tennessee State to go up 10. Leading scorer in the Ohio Valley Conference, TyShwan Edmondson. Right now, dribbles the ball over to Caleb Brown. Inside for Triggs. Goes up, can't get it to go, but a follow dunk by Melvin Baker breaks that 10 straight run for Tennessee State.
Another one of those 3 junior college transfers that have made quite the difference for Austin Peay.
So Austin Peay went about 4.5 minutes without a bucket. 14-6 Tennessee State, and the ball goes over now to the Governors.
Melvin Baker played his junior college basketball at Odessa College, and Dave Luce was able to get 3 major junior college gets. Melvin Baker is a great get for this program. Josh Terry out of 3 Rivers, who played for the national title in the junior college ranks. And of course, TyShwan Edmondson as well.
Little zone look here from Tennessee State. Triggs inside, cut off. Moving in left baseline, and Edmondson gets his first points of the afternoon.
He is a smart offensive player, knows how to move without the basketball.
Moore His third three of the early stages. 17-8 Tennessee State.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is no secret. Kenny Moore can shoot the basketball 50%, number one in the OVC, from three-point land.
Inside a jump hook. Melvin Baker. Peters into the front court. Moore again. This one will not go, and Josh Terry the rebound for Austin Peay.
And finally a hand in his face from deep.
Quick pull from Edmondson, no good. An offensive rebound, kick out. Brown, a three-pointer. Tennessee saves it underneath their own hoop. Right to Baker inside for the lay-in.
When Melvin Baker's a guy that came to this program in August. Durant Roberson, for those Austin Peay fans, went down with a knee injury. And this kid was available late. And Dave Luce took him, and now he's starting for Austin Peay and making a real difference.
Foul on Caleb Brown. As Tennessee State off to a hot start from the perimeter. And it's Kenny Moore fueling the Tigers. Cheer anyway. I just have to make sure they do it.
They passed the test.
ESPN News exclusive presentation of college basketball presented by 5 Hour Energy. The no wait, no hassle way to a great morning. Tennessee State leading Austin Peay 17-12, and Mark, it's Kenny Moore off to the great start for the Tigers. What can Austin Peay do to slow him down?
Well, first of all, you got to get out and extend and deny him the basketball. Make him get out where he catches it 26, 27 feet. Secondly, make sure you pressure him when he can do this and just go up. And right there, defender a little bit soft. He's so rangy from downtown. You've got to deny him, make him stretch. That's an unacceptable play defensively right there for Austin Peay. You can't let him catch and shoot the basketball, and then aggressively get in the shooter pocket and challenge every shot.
So Kenny Moore, 3 threes already as Will Peters goes to the line, a 1-and-1 for Tennessee State. Peters at 91% from the line this year, second in the Ohio Valley Conference. And wouldn't you know, he misses the front end. But got his own miss and rattles home the jumper.
Here comes the full court pressure again.
Austin Peay breaks it. Melvin Baker in the corner leads Austin Peay with 6 points. Out near midcourt, Tyrone Caldwell in the game, a 6-foot junior from Clarksville. Justin Blake on the perimeter, right corner jumper. No good from Terry, and the rebound cleared by Tennessee State and Nobles. Covington a three-pointer. Boy, this team, Mark, is so tough to defend. The big men can step out and hit the long-range shot.
The big guys can shoot the basketball, but you've got to extend your defense if you're Austin Peay now.
Green the block shot for Tennessee State. Here comes Nobles into the front court for the Tigers.
Dave Luce was very concerned because Austin Peay is known for defending inside the three-point line, and if you don't cheat out like that defender did right there, you're going to get burned on the three-point shot.
Peters' entry pass, Covington goes inside. 10 on the shot clock. And near midcourt, Nobles better hurry. Desperation heave. That hits the backboard, a shot clock violation against Tennessee State.
Good defensive segment by Austin Peay, getting out, taking away the three-point shooters. There's your top three-point shooters: Kenny Moore, Will Peters, Robert Covington. 1, 2, and 3 in the OVC. All of them wear the same color jersey here today for Tennessee State.
That's a very good sign for John Cooper, their head coach. Tennessee State has matched their largest lead at 10. Long two on the way from Terry, and Covington another rebound for Tennessee State. Peters on the push.
Got Covington wide open. There he is, number 33.
Little too strong on that one, but the offensive rebound. Miller called for the offensive foul, a charge on Tennessee State. Well, two elite college wrestling programs hit the mat Sunday night on ESPNU as the Iowa Hawkeyes take on Oklahoma State. College wrestling on ESPNU Sunday, 5:30 Eastern. The all-time wrestling championships. Iowa right there trailing Oklahoma State. And Iowa on a roll, all of their titles since 1975. Inside, Will Triggs. Floating hook in the lane. Missed everything. Rebound cleared. Kenny Moore back in for Tennessee State. Peters on the push. The pull-up. Good for Will Peters. Timeout for Dave Luce. He wants to talk things over. He takes a 30. 8:20 left first half. Largest lead for Tennessee State. They've doubled up Austin Peay.
Well, Will Peters just so under control in the fast break right there. That little 2-foot jump stop and then just pogos right into it. Good quick decision, good point guard play in the 94-foot situation. Watch Will Peters right there. Boom. 2-foot jump stop, textbook. Right at the free throw line. Watch him come down under control. Defender doesn't come up, so he takes what the defense gives him. Well done, Will Peters.
7 straight points for Tennessee State. As it was 10, then Austin Peay cut it to 5. Now 7 in a row for the Tigers to push it to 12. And everybody around the Ohio Valley is cheering right now because Tennessee State is out in front of Austin Peay.
Austin Peay at 6-0. Everyone else in the conference has 2 or more losses. Austin Peay can run away and hide from this conference if they can get a road victory in Nashville here today.
2-3 zone look for Tennessee State. Here's a 3 on the way. An air ball short by Justin Blake, and the ball just goes out of bounds. And really a tough start for Austin Peay. They look out of sync.
Coach John Cooper comes out of the timeout, switches up defenses from the man-to-man, goes to 2-3 zone, and all of a sudden a contested three-point shot goes out of bounds. That guy might be a young head coach. He's a pretty doggone good head coach.
Would you like to do that a lot when you were coaching, is change up a defense thinking that the other team, for example, Austin Peay here, would be expecting man and you throw a zone at him?
You always know that the last defense you were in, that coach is expecting you to come out in that same defense. Great coaching job by John Cooper switching it up.
15 to shoot. Miller penetrates. Green the long 2. And Covington can't handle the air ball and it goes out of bounds to Austin Peay. A timeout on the floor. Tremendous start. Tennessee State. Largest lead. They're up 12 here in the first half. A whiteout here at the Gentry Center in Nashville. College basketball on ESPNU, presented by 5 Hour Energy as part of conference tip-off. Tremendous start for Tennessee State. And Mark, what can Austin Peay do to get going and get back into this game?
Well, on offense, get the basketball moving from side to side. Make Tennessee State play off ball and on ball. Shot selection critical for Austin Peay. And then more inside-out action. Get the ball in the paint, especially off the pass and hard dribble.
Tennessee State foul. That's Robert Covington in his second, 5th team foul on the Tigers.
Tennessee State will continue to full-court press as long as Austin Peay doesn't score against it. I mean, there's no downside to full-court press when Austin Peay constantly is attacking, probing, and then bringing it back out. Austin Peay's got to attack to score against the press. Tennessee State back in their 2-3 zone.
Just 5 of 21, Austin Peay from the field to start.
But see how the ball stalls for seconds at a time? It's got to keep moving.
There's a 3 from Blake that rattles out. Out of bounds to Tennessee State. You want to keep that ball moving when you see a zone, right?
Well, and in particular, Tennessee State, I think they're good on-ball defenders, but watching them, I think they're a little bit suspect on the backside of any defense. So the more you move the ball from one side to the other, it creates that backside defender to have to react to the ball, and I think that's where they're vulnerable.
Austin Peay with the steal. Caldwell went down the lane, had the ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with the Governors.
Remember, Tennessee State, a lot of new guys on this roster. So it's not like they've played a lot of team defense together for long periods of time.
Tough shot missed short from Edmondson. Here comes Tennessee State. Chris Connor fouled, taking it into the basket. He'll shoot 2. Monday morning, ESPNU delivers the Spalding Hoop Hall Classic, featuring some of the top high school teams in the nation. First at 11 a.m. Eastern, Westchester Country Day faces Christ the King. Then at 1 o'clock Eastern, Bishop Gorman takes on St. Patrick. The ESPN Rise High School Basketball Showcase on ESPNU Monday.
Real treat is watching Michael Gilchrist at St. Patrick High School. This guy's signed at Kentucky. John Calipari just keeps bringing in the best players in the country year in and year out. I saw Michael Gilchrist as a freshman, fell in love with him. He's rangy, strong, can score, great in the 94-foot situation. He's good in the press. You think he fits Kentucky basketball?
First shot buried by Chris Connor, 76%er on the year. Marcel Williams checks out after committing the foul. And Dave Luce running players in and out, trying to get a combination that can jumpstart this Austin Peay offense.
Well, especially against this press, you've got to stay fresh. Tennessee State backs off out of the made free throw.
Largest lead for the Tigers. Melvin Baker goes to work inside. Wave it off. Offensive foul. The freshman Patrick Miller draws the charge, and Baker commits his second.
Patrick Miller in perfect position to step in and take that charge.
Miller from a great high school program in Chicago, Hales Franciscan. JaVale McGee, former Nevada star, now in the NBA with Washington.
Of course, McGee played at Nevada for Mark Fox. Boy, could he block shots. He had a 7'4" wingspan. JaVale McGee.
His mom was pretty good too.
She was, Pamela McGee could pluck. One of the greatest women's players in the history of the game.
Here is the freshman Miller. 8 on the shot clock. Late foul call. That's the 3rd on Melvin Baker. And Dave Luce, not a happy camper right now. He's giving the official Jason Baker an earful.
Well, Dave Luce been in this conference for a long, long time, 20-plus years, 5 times the OVC Coach of the Year. Quite an athlete himself, great baseball player.
Free throw rattles out from Miller, a 76%er on the year. Already in the double bonus, Tennessee State.
Tennessee State has been more aggressive in the first half.
There is Patrick Miller. Talked about JaVale McGee also going to Hales Franciscan. Last year's Pac-10 Player of the Year, Jerome Randall, who played at Cal. As the offensive rebound, Frederick inside with the bucket.
He brings toughness, energy to Sean Frederick. I love guys that come off the bench and contribute with hustle plays.
11 straight now for Tennessee State. Nice move by Brown. Gets the shot to go, and that was desperately needed by Austin Peay. Green loses the ball inside, picked up by Will Triggs for the Governors. A three from Edmondson. 5 straight quick points from Austin Peay.
Caleb Brown, number 3 in red, the point guard, finds his go-to guy, TyShwan Edmondson, and just lets a perfect chest pass delivered to his best player.
The leading scorer in the Ohio Valley Conference hits his first 3 of the afternoon. Too strong to Sean Frederick on the pull-up. Here comes Austin Peay. Brown loses the ball, picked up by Moore. Kenny Moore goes in. Grab, intentional foul, count the basket for Kenny Moore. He'll shoot the free throw, and Tennessee State will get the ball.
The turnover on one end leads to Kenny Moore. What an athlete he is. He's shown his ability to make the 3 ball, and this is an obvious reach out and grab. Caleb Brown over penetrates. Now watch the defender from behind reach out and grab. That's an obvious intentional foul.
Justin Blake the foul. The bucket counts for Kenny Moore, who already has 14 points. It's an intentional foul, so he'll shoot the free throw, and then the Tigers will get the ball right back. So Kenny Moore at the line. He's 1 of 3 from the stripe thus far. Can't get the 3-point play. But one more shot coming because of the intentional foul. And now Tennessee State will have the basketball. 14-point lead for Tennessee State. They've led by as many as 16.
Good call by the official right there. Immediately called it the intentional foul, and it was just obvious. Poor defensive position and decision by Austin Peay.
Now a zone look from the Governors. Here's a steal from Edmondson.
Smart.
Open 3. Well short. Out of bounds to Tennessee State.
Well, Caleb Brown made the right decision there, giving the ball to TyShwan Edmondson. But the junior college transfer from Midland just came up short on that. He's been struggling the last couple games to get his game really going. Remember, he was the guy that was on the bench early in the season. Anthony Campbell goes down with a season-ending knee injury. And all Edmondson does is become the #1 scorer in the OVC, coming off the bench, now a starter.
You mentioned his struggles the last couple of games. He's had his 2 lowest scoring games of the season.
Well, he's getting a lot more attention defensively. No question about that.
Here's the pull-up from Peters. And the rebound cleared by Austin Peay and Josh Terry.
Well, a lot of dribbling, a lot of standing around by Austin Peay.
Here's a Brown 3-pointer. Offensive rebound, there's Edmondson, leading scorer in the Ohio Valley with the offensive board. And a block called, and Edmondson will get a pair of free throws. The first to timeout, Tennessee State. A strong first half start, up by 14. 31-17, Tennessee State off to a great start over first place Austin Peay here in Nashville. And Mark, a great start for the Tennessee State Tigers against a team that's dominated the Ohio Valley so far.
Well, so far Austin Peay at 6-0, and of course everybody else in the conference has 2 losses right now. So this is critical for Tennessee State, but also for everybody else in the OVC. Believe me, every member of the OVC right now is saying, John Cooper, you're coaching a great game. Keep it up, because everybody wants to see Austin Peay go down with a loss.
So Tennessee State was led by as many as 16 already in this game, shooting the ball well, attacking the glass also.
I really like the way Tennessee State has come out with aggression. They've done a great job on the offensive glass, and Kenny Moore has been stellar from the three-point line. Of course, he's the #1 three-point shooter in the OVC, one of the best marksmen in the country. Whenever he's been open, it's been lights out from downtown.
Here's TyShwan Edmondson at the line for Austin Peay, averaging 18.5 points a game to lead the league. Misses the first free throw short at 77% on the season. Melvin Baker leads Austin Peay with 6 today. Edmondson has 5. Now give him 6. But Moore leads everybody, as Mark told you. Kenny Moore with 15 points already.
Number 15 in white for Tennessee State. He's got a feathery touch from downtown, can go in the paint, got a big body to use it. There he is down the block.
Doubled, dribbles out of it, and Austin Peay forces a turnover.
Good look by Austin Peay with the post-to-post double. Dave Luce's teams are always known when the ball goes low, the opposite post man comes across with the hard double team, that time leading to the turnover.
Here's Caleb Brown. As Austin Peay has scored 8 of the last 10 points. Frederick strips it inside, and it's out of bounds to Austin Peay underneath the hoop. The lead is at 13, and Mark, this Tennessee State team is the 4th best free throw shooting team in America, but watching them today, you wouldn't know it as Edmondson buries a 3.
That kid can change the game. Number 12 in red, TyShwan Edmondson, junior college transfer, who has become the go-to guy for this team after coming off the bench early in the season.
It's down to 10. The steal, Josh Terry, and he's fouled in the open floor by Chris Connor. Here's TyShwan Edmondson, Mark, and look at his versatility, inside, outside, free throw line.
Look at the assists, nearly 2 assists per game. He's unselfish when he does get to the free throw line. Like other great scorers, he makes them at 77%. I mean, Dave Luce thought that when he lost Anthony Campbell, that Austin Peay was in trouble. And then all of a sudden he goes to TyShwan Edmondson, and I asked Dave, did you think he was this good? And he said, I had no idea. Now, if Dave didn't know, I certainly didn't know, and no one else did as well, but this kid has really learned how to score the ball.
Prior to that free throw, Mark, he'd scored the last 8 points.
He can really get it going. And when he gets hot, and he plays with such tremendous confidence, that's what I like about him.
The lefty, Josh Terry, one more shot. And Kenny Moore clears for Tennessee State.
Go full court pressure. They like the trap right at the half-court line.
Loose ball picked up by the freshman Miller and throws the ball away right to Terry. Ahead of the pack, Brown goes up and lays it in. All of a sudden, it's a 7-point game, and John Cooper wants to talk things over. It was 16, it's down to 7.
Austin Peay does an excellent job in their full court pressure of driving the ball to the sideline and then forcing traps along the sidelines. Here it comes right there with the deflection. 2 defenders go, and perfect backside position in the full court pressure situation leads to Caleb Brown with the easy deuce.
7-0 run for Austin Peay. ESPN, the home court of college hoops. ESPNU is college basketball covered with 2 new shows every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday night. At 6:30 Eastern, College Basketball Whip Around takes you to the sites of games around the country to give you all the latest news. Then at 11 o'clock Eastern, catch College Basketball Live for all the news and highlights. That's every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. on ESPNU. Ball is kicked. Last touch, it was actually a kick by Will Peters and a turnover committed by Tennessee State coming out of the timeout.
Well, this Austin Peay full court pressure has really bothered the guards for Tennessee State.
Three straight turnovers now committed by the Tigers. There's a steal, though, inside. Patrick Miller takes it away.
Well, I'd look for Kenny Moore right here. A mismatch with TyShwan Edmondson down low.
And they're getting a foul off the ball. And it's Edmondson, his first. Coming up on the SportsCenter U halftime report with Kevin Connors and Miles Simon. Number 3, Kansas escapes. Plus Duke rebounds as we look at the remaining unbeatens, Mark.
Ohio State absolutely loaded with Jared Sullinger. Well, I think's the best back to the basket big guy in college basketball. If he can feel you, he can score on you.
Kenny Moore at the line hits the first. 3 of 5 from the stripe. And he has a game-high 16 points.
When he just drew the foul on his former teammate, TyShwan Edmondson. Both of them played at Midland Junior College down in Texas. Pretty good JUCO team.
Considering Edmondson was scoring less than 3 points a game for that squad. As Edmondson signed when played his freshman season at St. John's. And there he is, Edmondson with the answer.
Now that just shows you how good Texas junior college basketball is.
And the Governors have trimmed it down to 5. Green didn't realize how open he was inside. The pull-up, tough shot, Patrick Miller.
Tennessee State got a good shot against the pressure that time, but Austin Peay in perfect defensive position in the traps. I like what they're doing defensively.
Delay of game warning against Tennessee State for touching the ball after it went through. Kenny Moore, the guilty party there, so it's just a warning this time on Tennessee State. Next time, it'll be a technical.
Watch number 12 in red, TyShwan Edmondson, move without the basketball. In the lower part of your screen. Wide open.
Foul as Brown was taking it in. And it's against Patrick Miller.
You may have noticed as the ball penetrated toward the basket, TyShwan Edmondson just went right down to the baseline, showed his hands ready to shoot the basketball. That's good offensive movement without the ball.
1-1 for Caleb Brown, 2 of 2 at the line already this afternoon. He'll get the bonus. Well, Edmondson and Brown, Mark, have really picked it up. That's been the spark for Austin Peay.
Well, Caleb Brown, in my view, is the most improved player in the Ohio Valley Conference from 1 year ago. He shot 28% from three-point land last season. He improved his shooting stats from beyond the arc by 14 percentage points, 42% from 3. That's just hard work in the offseason by number 3, Caleb Brown. He's on the ball right there.
Just breaking the 10-second count. Approaching a minute left in this first half. Tennessee State is led by as many as 16. They're up by 6 right now.
And Kenny Moore was wide open and they missed him.
Off the ball, a foul inside. Offensive foul, Michael Green, his first.
And Kenny Moore getting a little bit frustrated. He had a lot of things going for him offensively early in the first half, not getting those quality touches here with under 5 to go.
Final minute. You're coaching, Mark. You go for a quick 2-for-1 situation if you can.
Absolutely. I think college coaches underutilize this situation. I think you've got to look for an early shot, but typically settle for a later shot in the shot clock.
Shot spins out for Josh Terry. Rebound cleared. Moore has it for Tennessee State. Drops it off for Miller. About a 3-second differential here for the Tigers and the home whites.
Late game situation. Don't be surprised to see Kenny Moore get a quality touch or Robert Covington late in the shot clock. Covington out of the game, so it'll be Kenny Moore, number 15 in white. Look for him.
10 on the shot clock. Here comes Peters.
A lot of confusion.
And a walk called leaves Austin Peay with 6.1 left in this first half.
John Cooper trying to shout instructions, but his team simply did not understand. Watch for TyShwan Edmondson, number 12. Caleb Brown will penetrate. There's TyShwan right there.
And he can't handle the pass. Austin Peay gives it right back to Tennessee State. 3.4 for the Tigers to get a last shot. Miller, desperation shot. Won't go, but a solid first half. Tennessee State leading by as many as 16. It's 6. Coming up after the break, Kevin Connors and Miles Simon of highlights around the country, and a preview tonight's top games during the Sports Center U halftime report. All Kenny Moore in this first half. You are watching college basketball on ESPNU as Austin Peay takes on Tennessee State in a Ohio Valley Conference showdown. Due to time constraints, we move ahead in our action. You are watching college basketball on ESPNU as Austin Peay takes on Tennessee State in a Ohio Valley Conference showdown. Basketball fans, it's time to put your college on the map. Build your own campus from scratch with ESPNU College Town. Find your school, pick your buildings, and recruit players. Challenge your friends across the country to see whose program is number one. More than 4 million users have started constructing their campus. Go to BeTheDean.com now to start playing. Due to time constraints, we move ahead in our action after these messages. It's halftime here in Nashville as Austin Peay battles Tennessee State in a Ohio Valley Conference game. We'll be back with second half action after these messages. Welcome back to college basketball on ESPNU, presented by 5 Hour Energy. It's part of conference tip-off. The whiteout here in Nashville at the half. Tennessee State 34, Austin Peay 28. A big lead early for Tennessee State, led by as many as 16 mark, but then TyShwan Edmondson got Austin Peay going and got them back into the game.
He was 1 for 7 in the first 15 minutes of the first half for 4 points. Look at the shot chart. A lot of things outside the three-point line, but he didn't panic. He stayed patient. Look at his shot chart, 3 for 3 in the final 5 minutes for 12 points in the first half. Why did he not score to open the half? Simply defense. Tennessee State took away dribble penetration, but why did he score late? Because he moved without the basketball. This time a knife cut to the basket, right along the baseline. And then TyShwan Edmondson reads what the defender gets him. The defender didn't respect him. Knock it down, TyShwan Edmondson.
Leading scorer in the Ohio Valley Conference, Edmondson, 12 in the first half. While Kenny Moore for Tennessee State leading all scorers. His JC teammate had 16 in the first half. Tennessee State in the white with the ball to start the second half. There is Moore. And he missed the shot. It's cleared by Austin Peay. Edmondson the rebound. Austin Peay closed the first half on an 11-3 run to trim it down to 6. Deflection out, and it goes to Tennessee State. There's Moore, 3 first half threes.
Has 16 points in the first half, but he got a little frustrated late in the half. While TyShwan Edmondson was finding his offensive rhythm, Tennessee State seemed to allow Kenny Moore to lose his.
Here's a Melvin Baker 3, and Moore clears for the Tigers.
There's Kenny Moore, number 15 up top. Robert Covington, number 33 in white. I think Covington's a guy that's got to get more involved in this offense here in the second half for Tennessee State.
Will Peters, number 10 in white, backs the ball out. Point guard for Tennessee State. Austin Peay in their traveling red. Moore walked, turnover, goes to Austin Peay.
Look at Kenny Moore. Look at the shot selection from behind the arc and then 2 shots in the paint. That's why he's so difficult to guard, because he can bang the 3 from a long ways out, and then he can go down the paint. He's got that big wide body that understands how to score with his back to the basket.
Caleb Brown, the point guard for Austin Peay. Sets it up in the half court here. Mismatch, he's guarded by Moore.
And Caleb Brown decides to let him get away with it. Boy, if you're Caleb Brown, you want to put the ball on the floor and go right past Kenny Moore. Try to pick up a foul on the reach. There they are. And boy, he almost reached that time too.
Melvin Baker hits the 3 from the top. 3-point lead for Tennessee State.
He signed late, but he scores early and often in the second half for Dave Luce.
And Baker was all set to go to Middle Tennessee State and got let out of his letter of intent. Here's Moore inside. The follow. Green can't get it down. And they're calling an over-the-back call and a foul on Tennessee State. Actually, basket interference, no foul. And the ball just goes over to the Governors.
In the first half, John Cooper's basketball team came out very aggressive on the offensive glass. So far, Austin Peay late in the first half, and now in the second half has a good flow defensively on the glass.
Edmondson attacks. And the crazy layup won't go, and it goes out of bounds underneath to Tennessee State. Just underway in the second half. Tennessee State leading by as many as 16 points in the first half. It's only a 3-point game right now.
And of course, Austin Peay undefeated for a reason. They win games like this on the road. Austin Peay 6-4 on the road this year, 6-0 in the OVC overall.
Moore rejected, last touch by Moore, out of bounds to the Governors.
And look for full court pressure now from Tennessee State. Here's Kenny Moore going strong to the basket. Blocked from behind, off his head. Great call by the official.
Edmondson ahead for Baker. He's swatted out of bounds by Green. There's the active freshman shot blocker, second in the Ohio Valley, Michael Green, another rejection.
Michael Green took the perfect angle to go block that shot instead of standing in front of the offensive player. Watch what happens. Ball goes on the floor, and Green takes that angle where he turns toward the baseline. Perfect shot blocking angle.
Missed shot by John Fraley. The board by Green. Miller entry pass, drop step, Covington inside. Miller runs it down. Tennessee State again, into the lane, the floater, the teardrop goes for Peters. Here's an Edmondson three-pointer. And it's down to 2 for Tennessee State.
TyShwan Edmondson never loses confidence. Even when he sat on the bench for Dave Luce, he knew he could play, and when he got his opportunity, he took full advantage, now the leading scorer in the OVC.
Peters spins inside. Fraley lost the rebound. Luce on the deck. Peters dives, ties up Fraley, or rather ties up Melvin Baker. And the alternating possession will go to Austin Peay here. And Austin Peay, they were threatening to get blown out in this game, Mark, and they battled their way back in.
Well, Dave Luce pushed the right buttons, going a little full court pressure package, got a couple turnovers going. Caleb Brown played a lot more under control, and he simply found his best player. TyShwan Edmondson gave him the ball.
There's a reason why he's the 5-time Ohio Valley Coach of the Year.
Yeah, Dave Luce is a special basketball coach, even better person.
Ball poked away by Frederick out of bounds underneath. Austin Peay will keep it with 19 on the shot clock. There is TyShwan Frederick, South Carolina native. Zone look off the inbound, and a foul committed by Patrick Miller of Tennessee State, his third. A little bit of foul difficulty already for both sides. Melvin Baker with 3 for Austin Peay, and now Miller picks up his third for the Tigers.
And Tennessee State now going into their 2-3 zone out of the side, out of bounds.
Nice move on the baseline, and Edmondson ties the game at 36.
What a hesitation move, and that shoulder slant with the right shoulder got him right to the rack.
17 for Edmondson. The Austin Peay fans have made the 45-mile trek here into Nashville, are making some noise at the Gentry Center. First tie since it was 2-all. Long two. Frederick hits the shot for Tennessee State.
TyShwan Frederick, guy that brings energy to this basketball team, not known as a scoring. That's a big shot here in the second half.
Here's a tough three. Edmondson can't get it to go for the lead, and the rebound tipped out of bounds underneath. Last touch by Melvin Baker of Austin Peay. TyShwan Edmondson, a game-high 17, bringing Austin Peay back into the game. College basketball on ESPNU, presented by 5 Hour Energy. Part of conference tip-off and a 2-point lead for Tennessee State. 15:27 to play. And TyShwan Edmondson, Mark, for Austin Peay, a nifty move on the baseline.
Perfect execution of the hesitation. Watching right here as he gets to the hesitation point and then backs out offensively to create space right there. Then look at his right shoulder. As soon as he puts the ball on the floor in the next dribble, there's his shoulder that rotates down, points directly to the floor, that gives him leverage to the basket. Right there, there's the space, there's the hesitation, there's the leverage with the shoulder slam.
Boy, a heady play by Edmondson to capitalize. That stutter step just froze the defense.
You know, he is a scorer, Roxy. He's a guy that just does not lose his confidence. He just keeps plugging away offensively.
You need to have that kind of mentality when you're a scorer, right?
Especially when you're a guy that didn't even start early in the season. This kid has supreme confidence in his game.
Will Peters out top. Shot clock now at 10. Covington in, cut off at the lane. Out of bounds, 3 on the shot clock, and late clock situation for Tennessee State. What do you dial up here in your playbook with 3 to shoot?
Well, you've got to look right now at Will Peters coming to the basketball. There he is.
But an offensive foul, illegal screen, freeing up Peters. Set by TyShwan Frederick, his first foul.
That Austin Peay sagging defense, the Dick Bennett type defense, of course, coached at Wisconsin, Green Bay, Washington State in the Pac-10. And Austin Peay took a defensive page out of Dick Bennett's book, and they just played to the three-point line. They played good defensive position. Frustrating Tennessee State right now.
Second team foul on the Tigers. Austin Peay with Edmondson out top. Brown goes baseline. Inside. Counted and 1. Melvin Baker fouled. Foul against Frederick, his second. And at the line, it'll be Melvin Baker.
Caleb Brown taking over this game. Speaking of shoulder slant to get by a defender, and I love the way his head was up, eyes probing the defense.
Austin Peay looking for their first lead since it was 2-0.
You know, if you're Dave Luce out of the made free throw, you've got to be tempted to go to your full court pressure package and look for a turnover right here. And here it is. Look for the trap in the half court area.
Melvin Baker gives Austin Peay the lead. First lead since it was 2-0 for the Governors. And there's the turnover. Brown can't finish. More the rebound for Tennessee State. Here comes Peters on the go. 3-on-2. Left-handed stroke. Jaquan Nobles reclaims the lead for Tennessee State.
What a huge turnaround. Austin Peay did everything defensively perfectly, and then not able to convert, and Tennessee State makes him pay on the opposite end. What a turnaround.
And the first points for Nobles. Edmondson for the lead. Austin Peay goes back in front. 10th 20-point game of the year now for Edmondson. A 3 by Moore. John Fraley clears for Austin Peay.
Well, you got to think about going to the well again. There he is, TyShwan Edmondson.
This is a 2 that spins out. And Frederick runs it down for Tennessee State. And he's fouled in the backcourt. 2 elite college wrestling programs hit the mats Sunday night on ESPNU as the Iowa Hawkeyes take on Oklahoma State. College wrestling on ESPNU Sunday at 5:30 Eastern.
Did you ever wrestle?
No. Do I look like I wrestle?
No.
You were a wrestler though, right?
Only in gym class, and I got beat up so bad I never wanted to do it again.
There's Covington, cleans it up inside. And the lead again for Tennessee State as the teams are seesawing back and forth right now.
The thing that Caleb Brown, number 3 in red, does for this team, he understands who to go to. Good call on the back cut.
And a goaltend against Covington. Give the hoop to Austin Peay, and the Governors lead 44-43.
That's old Ralph Miller basketball right there at Oregon State. 1-4 high with the back cut. Ball goes to the high post. Defender just relaxes for a split second. Next thing you know, you got a back cut to the basket for number 23, Josh Terry.
Just under 13 minutes to play here in Nashville. Big Ohio Valley Conference showdown. First place, Austin Peay and Tennessee State. We've seen 4 lead changes in just the last couple of minutes. Peters goes baseline. Fouled. He'll shoot a pair. Austin Peay foul against Will Triggs, his first. And Will Peters will shoot 2. 0 of 1 today, 91% for the season. Coming in, Mark, this is a good free throw shooting team. But right now, Tennessee State, that's hurting them because they're just 5 of 12 at the line today.
Yeah, they definitely struggled from the line, came into this game one of the top 4 free throw shooting teams in the country.
78%. And this is their best. Peters second in the Ohio Valley, 91% on the year.
Will Peters, number 10 at the free throw line, was a walk-on 2 years ago. Now he's the starting point guard in the Ohio Valley Conference. A guy that reminds me of that Adam Emenecker from Drake a couple of years ago, who was a walk-on for 3 years, finally got his scholarship, became the Missouri Valley Conference Player of the Year. Will Peters, a guy that came to this program with no reputation, but has built a reputation with hard work. You got to admire what this kid has done. Now a starter at Tennessee State.
Hits the second, 1 out of 2, and we're tied at 44. 12:35 to go.
Well, if you're Austin Peay, the offensive success factor is really pretty simple. Get it to number 12 in red, TyShwan Edmondson.
Fraley was yet to score today with the touch inside. Now it goes back out. Tyrone Caldwell off the bench for the Governors. Fraley in the
Mismatch
post.
inside. He's got to go to the rack right now.
Triggs can't get the putback. One more try. Fouled by Covington. 2 free throws for Will Triggs. Third on Robert Covington.
Will Triggs, one of those guys, when he comes in the game, something's going to happen. And it's usually going to be pretty exciting. He just gives you energy off the bench. Dave Luce has a couple guys that he likes to bring in to bring energy. And Will Triggs is one of those guys. It isn't always pretty looking, but he makes things happen. Number 10 in red goes up again, 2 hands strong, draws contact again. I like guys that come off the bench and find a way to contribute, and Will Triggs is one of those guys.
Those energy guys. You have to search long and hard for those type of players.
You really do, and you've got to get guys that sublimate their egos. They're willing to accept their roles and then go out and perform those roles. That's why Austin Peay is always in the championship hunt, because Dave Luce is good at convincing guys of doing that.
The second shot rattled out, but a lane violation committed by Jaquan Nobles of Tennessee State. And Will Triggs will get another chance here. 55% on the season. Trying to give the Governors a 2-point lead.
Look for full court pressure out of the make.
Can't capitalize on the gift. Kenny Moore the rebound.
Well, that hurts when you want to go full court pressure and you miss that second free throw. You can't get your defense set.
Patrick Miller splits the double team. The leaner can't get it. Tennessee State keeps it alive inside. Moore rejected. Peters has it now, and he'll back it up and set it up in the half court for the Tigers. Into the lane, Peters. Long 2. Spins out for Michael Green. Last touch by Tennessee State. Austin Peay basketball. As the Governors up 1 on Tennessee State here in the second half. Part of conference tip-off. College basketball presented by 5 Hour Energy. 11.5 to play. Austin Peay clinging to a 1-point lead on Tennessee State. And our Star Watch mark, TyShwan Edmondson, has been hot here in the second half.
After 1 for 7 in the first 15 minutes of this game, he has really come on and knocked down shots. And Kenny Moore has become increasingly frustrated as he opened hot, has had difficult time scoring.
Austin Peay working on a 1-point lead. And inside, John Fraley finally gets on the scoreboard, hacked in the act, and one for Fraley. Green's second foul.
Well, good job of reading the defense. Is a huge mismatch down low. Dave Luce, one of the best at isolating mismatches in the offense. And that time, John Fraley going up against a 6-foot point guard down the block.
So Fraley, a 57%er for the season, gets the old school three-point play, and the largest lead of the day for Austin Peay.
Their turnovers so huge in this game so far. Tennessee State with 19 turnovers, mainly because Austin Peay has done a good job in their full-court pressure package.
After committing 10 in the first half, Austin Peay is yet to give it away here in the second half.
Credit Caleb Brown. Gets a heady point guard for Austin Peay.
There's turnover number 20 by the Tigers. Caldwell on the go. Edmondson goes baseline, stripped and stolen by Moore. Leaking out. Nobles behind the defense. And the drop in for Jaquan Nobles. Two-point game. After Tennessee State led by as many as 16 points in the first half. A three by Edmondson. And the rebound cleared by Miller for Tennessee State. Miller drives, the pull-up. Fouled, count it! Patrick Miller with the bucket. Edmondson's second foul. And the freshman Patrick Miller with a clutch shot.
On the opposite end, we saw TyShwan Edmondson's ability to drive to the baseline, but who's defending him? Kenny Moore. They played together in junior college. And so Kenny Moore just went right behind and got the tip. You think he's familiar with his former teammates' game?
Just like it was in practice last year, right? Midway through the second half, we're tied at 48. After Patrick Miller couldn't get the three-point play, and the steal, Will Peters for the Tigers.
Kenny Moore with the deflection again.
Step back for Moore. Nobles a left-handed stroke. Rebound cleared by Fraley for Austin Peay.
Good job by Tennessee State getting back defensively.
Off the screen from Triggs. Caldwell, ball poked away. Moore lunging, goes into the backcourt, run down by Caldwell.
Caleb Brown's not going to be out of this game for long.
The drive, Caldwell can't finish. Triggs, the offensive rebound, and the putback by Will Triggs. There's your energy guy.
I love that guy. He just does what he can do, which is go get you hustle points.
Austin Peay by 2. And a foul, a hand check called against Tyrone Caldwell, his first.
And Caleb Brown's going to be coming back into this basketball game.
Dave Luce must have been listening to you.
Look at Triggs, just stay with it. And he goes up so quickly. I like the way he keeps the ball above his head and just attacks the basket immediately off the catch.
Fourth team foul on Austin Peay. It'll be a throw-in for the Tigers. Here's the 6'9" Robert Covington.
Well, look at all the red jerseys just packed in the paint, taking away dribble penetration. Look at all the help. 3 different defenders helping.
Peters underneath for Green, deflected out, last touch by Tennessee State. Another Tiger turnover.
Textbook help defense from the backside by Austin Peay. Every time there was a probe and penetration, there were 3 defenders reacting to the ball on the backside.
Austin Peay in the traveling red, working on a 2-point lead here.
Look for Justin Blake, number 32. He's a guy that can really load it up for Austin Peay from downtown.
There's a 3 from Baker that's long and cleared by Covington for Tennessee State. Peters on the drive. Late whistle, foul. Melvin Baker, his 4th with 8:05 to play. If you're Dave Luce, Mark, do you get him out of the game here?
Yeah, you have to, especially with the TV timeout coming up. You're going to have to sit him down with 8:05 to go in the half.
Marcel Williams up off the bench, but Peters shooting 2, just 1 of 3 from the line today. Again, 91% on the season, but just 1 of 3 from the stripe here this afternoon.
Making free throws is contagious, so is missing them.
First one is good. So with the 4 fouls, Baker will head to the bench. Peters 8 points in the ball game, averages just under 11 a game. He's been struggling as of late, double figures in only 1 of the last 5 as he hits the second to tie the game at 50. After the previous 6 games when he was in double digits.
Well, TyShwan Edmondson also on the bench right now, so there's a team that offensively, Caleb Brown's got to take over. Justin Blake, number 32 in red, can be your long distance dialer. You got Fraley down low.
Josh Terry powers his way inside, uses the window, puts Austin Peay up 2.
Smart, good patient offense by Austin Peay.
Covington goes middle, down the lane. The scoop won't go. Green misses the follow. And the rebound cleared. Marcel Williams for Austin Peay. Brown into the lane. All the way to the hoop. The right hand finish. Josh Terry, the lefty, uses the right hand. Austin Peay has matched their largest lead.
He's had 6 straight double-figure games coming into this game. And he dropped 25 second-half points on UT Martin in the road victory for Austin Peay earlier this week.
Tennessee State needs a bucket. Miller spins inside. And the left hand by the freshman Patrick Miller. 2-point lead, Austin Peay, 6:40 left.
Well, Caleb Brown smart enough to know that Josh Terry is getting it going offensively. Wouldn't be surprised to see him get another quality touch. There's Terry down low, isolated.
Brown looking to create. Turns the corner, gets inside, swatted away at the rim by Covington. Out of bounds, Austin Peay ball. We come back, we'll get a look at the Austin Peay defense, and Mark will break it down. Austin Peay by 2. ESPNU College Basketball presented by 5 Hour Energy. 6:21 left. Austin Peay 54, Tennessee State 52.
Let's look at the help defense for Austin Peay and watch off the ball. We're going to count out the number of times that a red jersey helps off the draw. There's one help right there, right up top. Watch the defender up top, free throw line again. Second help right there. Watch the defender on the offside again. Here comes the screen. Watch the big defender. There's help right there to take away dribble penetration. And then there's help rotation on the backside. 5 different times help defenders have rotated into position for Austin Peay with the sagging man-to-man. That's Dave Lou's defense. That's why this ball club has won 4 out of the last 8 OVC regular season championships.
Austin Peay with the ball. Edmondson throws it in. Up the ladder to just keep it for the Governors was Josh Terry. Dangerously close to a giveaway.
And he went up to get it.
Shot clock at 5. Brown turns the corner on Moore. Left baseline, reverse layup. No. Rebound cleared. Robert Covington for Tennessee State. Miller turns it over, the 22nd for Tennessee State. And the other end, the flush from TyShwan Edmondson.
Help defense again gets the deflection.
Edmondson leads all scorers with 22. Nobles a 3. But the offensive board, Covington keeps it alive. At some point, Mark, Tennessee State has got to get more involved. Kenny Moore, 16 in the first half, scoreless here in the second. What do they need to do?
For lack of a better term, they're soft offensively. They need more aggressive ball movement, more player cuts, so they can get into gaps and make plays.
Moore can't finish, but foul. They went to Moore, and he'll get a couple of free throws. Monday morning, ESPNU delivers the Spalding Hoop Hall Classic featuring some of the top high school teams in the nation. First at 11 a.m. Eastern, Westchester Country Day faces Christ the King. Then at 1 Eastern, Bishop Gorman takes on St. Patrick. The ESPN Rise High School Basketball Showcase on ESPNU Monday.
Paul Biancardi and his team of recruiting experts do an outstanding job at ESPN.com of letting every program in the country know where their team stands in the recruitment process. Kudos to Paul Biancardi and his stellar research team and recruiting team at ESPN.
Moore's first points of the second half with 5:13 to play brings Tennessee State to within 2. Caleb Brown into the forecourt.
With TyShwan Edmondson just going off multiple screens. Number 12 in red, moving without the ball. He was open and they missed him.
Josh Terry missed the long 2. Fraley the offensive board. Shovels it underneath. The friendly drop for Josh Terry.
Boy, does he play hard. Out of Three Rivers Community College. And that's one of the top 5 junior college programs in the country every year. And Josh Terry really showing well here in the OVC at Austin Peay.
Kenny Moore, a 3. Too strong. Rebound. Here comes Josh Terry. And a foul at midcourt called against Moore, his first of the day. Sixth team foul. Each team has committed 6. So the next foul will put Austin Peay in the 1-and-1. Likewise for Tennessee State.
Josh Terry's been the difference maker over the last 3 minutes. He's been able to score the ball, and he gets so many deflections. That's the thing I like best about his game. On the defensive end, he gets his hands on the basketball.
Edmondson locked up with his former JC teammate, Kenny Moore, and Moore tips the ball out of bounds. 23 coming back on the timer for Austin Peay.
A little confusion as to what Austin Peay's in offensively here.
Edmondson can't get it to go. Last touch by Covington, out of bounds to Austin Peay. Austin Peay trying to remain perfect in the Ohio Valley. They're up 4, 3:56 to go. ESPN News exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy. The no wait, no hassle way to a great morning. Final 3:56 to go. 4-point lead, Austin Peay over Tennessee State.
Roxy, we talked about the half-court help defense. Now let's see the full-court help defense. Number 4, Marcel Williams, right there, comes across the screen. Watch his hands. See how he gets that big right paw out there and gets the turnover. Austin Peay, the best in the OVC at getting deflections because of their help side half-court defense and also their ability to get back and get deflections as well.
Look at the turnover numbers forced by Austin Peay, Mark. 22 turnovers committed by the Tigers.
And that's that active hands, feet in the passing lanes, anticipating passes.
Austin Peay ball there in the red. Tennessee State in the home whites.
Tennessee State rotates from zone back to man-to-man.
Each team has committed 16 fouls here in the second half.
Well, Josh Terry was open along the baseline. They missed him.
15 to shoot. Here's Brown. Edmondson, challenge 3. Oh, a huge shot by Edmondson.
Boy, and does Caleb Brown know who his best player is? It's number 12 in red. The assist from number 3 in red, Caleb Brown.
Largest lead for Austin Peay. Moore loses the ball inside. Turnover number 23 committed by the Tigers.
Austin Peay will run shot clock late in the clock. Caleb Brown will look for penetration on TyShwan Edmondson's side of the court. That's typically on the left. And there they are, and we're at 16 on the shot clock.
Edmondson's in the left corner, 7-2 run for the Governors. Ball strip. Here comes Tennessee State, leaking out the freshman Miller with the finger roll. 61-56, Austin Peay.
Well, I'm surprised that Tennessee State didn't go right into their diamond trapping defense right there. John Cooper wanted it, but didn't get it.
.2:15 to go.
Well, this is where Caleb Brown is so valuable, running your offense late in shot clock situations.
10 on the timer. Edmondson, the floater. TyShwan Edmondson with 27.
From Caleb Brown again.
Miller goes inside, and he uses the glass. Timeout. Tennessee State, 5-point lead, Austin Peay. Final 1:43 to go. Austin Peay trying to go to 7-0 in the Ohio Valley Conference. ESPNU College Basketball presented by 5 Hour Energy. 1:43 left. Here in Nashville, Austin Peay 63, Tennessee State 58. And the Governors have taken control down the stretch.
TyShwan Edmondson has taken them over the game offensively, but why? I'll tell you why. Because number 3, Caleb Brown, is setting up his best player time and time again late in the shot clock. TyShwan Edmondson, the leading scorer in the OVC, but I gotta tell you, the reason why he's so good, because number 3 right there, that little guy, Caleb Brown, understands how to run Dave Luce's offense.
27 for Edmondson to lead all scorers. Full court pressure. Austin Peay breaks it. Now they'll run a little clock, right?
Undefeated, 6-0. An opportunity to get another road win after winning at Murray State, the toughest place in the OVC, to get a victory. Snapping the 25 home game winning streak for the Racers of Murray State. Now they're in Nashville with a chance with another road victory.
Brown inside. Gets the bounce to go and a 7-point lead with 1:10 to play.
He's the MVP of this league right now because he makes everybody better on the court, makes every smart decision.
Covington fouled on his way to the basket. 2 elite college wrestling programs hit the mats Sunday evening on ESPNU as the Iowa Hawkeyes take on Oklahoma State, number 10 against number 6. College wrestling on ESPNU Sunday at 5:30 Eastern. 2 shots for Robert Covington. First one is in for a 66% foul shooter on the year.
Well, now he's got to make a second shot for Tennessee State to get into their full court pressure package. That's how this team can win, forcing turnovers.
17th foul on Austin Peay. And he gets the roll on the second. John Connor coming back. Chris Connor rather coming back for Tennessee State.
Now Austin Peay at 6-0 in the OVC. Everyone else has 2 losses. Austin Peay can run away and hide with another road victory today.
1 minute left. Austin Peay trying to put the finishing touches on a victory here over Tennessee State. Fraley can't finish. Covington the rebound. Already a double-double for Robert Covington. 11 points, 11 boards. The 3. Buried by Patrick Miller. Timeout, Tennessee State. 30.9 to go. And Mark, we have a 2-point game as the freshman Miller comes through for the Tigers.
Austin Peay can't finish. Tennessee State in 94-foot situation. Now watch number 2, Patrick Miller. Pass fake right there, which freezes the defender and gives him plenty of space to knock down the 3-ball. Well-executed pass fake by Patrick Miller.
John Cooper with the timeout leaves him with a 30 and a full. Austin Peay has 3 30s and a full. As we look at the standings, that's why this game is so important to the rest of the league, so somebody can stay within distance of Austin Peay.
Everybody in the OVC right now, the 10 other members are all pulling for Tennessee State to pull this one out on this Saturday afternoon. Otherwise, it could turn into a runaway for Austin Peay.
There's your game reset. Possession arrow on a tie-up would go to Tennessee State. Austin Peay with the 7 fouls to Tennessee State's 6. Baker's committed 4 for the Governors. Nobody with more than 3 for Tennessee State.
Tennessee State in full court pressure. They will go all out for the steal here.
Having trouble, timeout taken. Josh Terry in danger of a 5-second call, uses a timeout. And a 30-second timeout burned by Austin Peay.
On that out-of-bounds play, watch all the red jerseys converge to the ball. This becomes easy to guard. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. All the red jerseys all bunched up. You know what that leads to? Turnovers. I think Dave Luce right now has to spread the court, look for the long ball against this overplaying defense to look for an easy score on the opposite end.
How can you get some spacing now for Austin Peay? What do you need to do?
Set up 1-4 across the free throw line and read defenders. Any defender that's in front of an offensive player in full denial, You just simply send that offensive player deep. You just fake toward the ball and go deep and go for the home run ball.
We're at the Gentry Center in Nashville, Tennessee. Austin Peay clinging to a 2-point lead on Tennessee State. 30.9 to go, a showdown, a rivalry game here in the Ohio Valley Conference. First place, Austin Peay, 6-0 in the league. Tennessee State at 4-2. Ball comes into the backcourt to Edmondson. Full court pressure, Austin Peay breaks it, and a foul against Jaquan Nobles of Tennessee State, his second, and a 1-1 for Austin Peay. Coming up next from Coral Gables, Florida, Boston College visits the U, VC, and Miami. From South Florida, that's up after we're done here in Nashville. A 1-1 for Austin Peay. It's the 7th team foul committed by Tennessee State. Moore coming back. And at the line, it will be Josh Terry shooting the 1-1.
And remember, Tennessee State, the best three-point shooting team in the OVC.
Terry 1 of 2 at the line today. 70% for the season. 27.4 left. Front end rattles out. Rebound, Covington, his 12th.
Look for Kenny Moore. He wants the ball. He's wide open.
Inside, Moore. Down low right. Can't get it. Offensive rebound and a putback. Moore ties the game. 15 seconds to go. Timeout. Moore, his first field goal of the second half.
Kenny Moore simply outran every defender down the court. He was calling for the ball at the half-court spot in that situation.
Again, coming up next, Boston College at Miami.
Watch Kenny Moore. He's on the top left hand. He's calling for the ball at the half-court line, and he simply outruns everybody. That's a hustle. 1-2 thing from Kenny Moore.
The officials are checking the monitor here courtside. 15.2 right now on the clock, as Scott Johnson and Jason Baker are checking the monitor to see how much time should remain.
Officials done a great job of managing this game. Probably going to add about a second to the clock.
65 all. Kenny Moore with the bucket to tie the score. And you're right, they put a second back on, 16.3 for Austin Peay to try to win the game.
Dave loose in the late game. Right now they don't need a three, they just need a score. So if you need a two-pointer, you go to TyShwan Edmondson with the on-ball screen, or Caleb Brown. We've seen his ability to come off the screen as well.
Again, coming up next, ACC action here on ESPNU. Miami hosting Boston College. Keep in mind, Austin Peay has played the most overtime games in Division I. They played 5 of them already.
They're 2-3 in those games. And John Cooper now takes a timeout as he wanted to check the set of the offense for Austin Peay.
30-second timeout. Tennessee State has a full left. Austin Peay has 2 30s and a full. Again, here are the Ohio Valley Conference standings. Austin Peay, a perfect 6-0, and a 2-game lead on Morehead State, Billy Kennedy's Murray State Club, Tennessee Tech, Tennessee State, all 2 back in the loss column.
This is an interesting timeout because John Cooper is not playing for the tie at home, which he should not. He's playing for the win on defense. He wanted to check the offensive set, and Tennessee State is going to look for a steal here in the full court trapping situation.
Will the ball go to Edmondson?
It'll be Caleb Brown, number 3 in red, with dribble penetration off the screen, and or TyShwan Edmondson moving without the ball to an open space for Brown to find him.
Here we go, 16.3 left. Tie game. Austin Peay with Brown to bring it up, looking for the win. 10 seconds. For the win. We're going to overtime. Looked like some confusion there for Austin Peay. They couldn't get a quality shot. 65 all. We'll play 5 more minutes.
The offense broke down for Austin Peay because of this quality defense of Tennessee State. TyShwan Edmondson was fully denied a touch, and that was option A for Austin Peay. Credit the timeout from John Cooper of setting his defense, settling his team, and they executed perfectly.
Here's another look at that last sequence and just some confusion for Austin Peay.
Well, you can see number 12, TyShwan Edmondson, coming to get the basketball. Caleb Brown kept it in his hands because there was no on-ball screen available. Lack of execution on one end for Austin Peay. Excellent defense by Tennessee State.
Tennessee State 1-0 in overtimes this season. Their win against Morehead State. Again, Austin Peay has already played the most overtime games in Division I college basketball. They're 2-3, and this is their 6th overtime game, and this is game number 19.
Credit John Cooper and his basketball team for staying with it. This game was virtually over with about 5 minutes to go. But Tennessee State found the will to come back.
Both teams could use their 5-hour energy as this game is going extra here in Nashville. 65 all. College basketball on ESPNU presented by 5-Hour Energy as part of conference tip-off. Ohio Valley matchup. Rivals just 45 miles apart. Austin Peay in the red. They're the visitors here in Nashville as the home whites for the Tennessee State Tigers. Michael Green will jump for Tennessee State against John Fraley. The tip controlled by Tennessee State. Just underway here in the extra session. It was Kenny Moore's bucket with 16 seconds to go that sent us to overtime. Miller drives. Off the window, the freshman Miller strikes first in overtime.
What a 2-foot jump stop there by Patrick Miller. Completely under control, under pressure.
Ball tipped out of bounds. Austin Peay will keep it. A reminder coming up next, ACC action here on ESPNU. Miami hosting Boston College.
No offense to Miami and Boston College. I want to stay here. I'm having some fun with this one.
Well, we don't have a choice.
No, that's right.
Not that we'd want to go anywhere else.
This is a great game. When you look at how big this game is, Austin Peay undefeated in the OVC, everybody else with 2 losses. Tennessee State 4-14 a year ago. They're 4-2 in the OVC, and now they're challenging the sitting #1 team on the home court of Tennessee State.
Edmondson up top on a hand check call against Will Peters of Tennessee State. His 3rd foul. And it'll be a 1-1 for Austin Peay. It's the 8th team foul on the Tigers. Now Patrick Miller with the bucket to give Tennessee State the 2-point lead. And the freshman coming alive here, Mark, for Tennessee State. He had 2 points at the half. Now he has 15.
So strong with the basketball. Patrick Miller now the leading scorer for Austin Peay. 77% on the season from the free throw line and draws a string.
Edmondson misses 1 of 3 today. Tennessee State with the ball, leading it by 2, a minute into overtime. Tennessee State fans wanted a foul as Covington got knocked down. Will Peters. 7 to shoot.
Boy, Patrick Miller has got to be a guy that gets a touch here.
Peters. No good. Covington keeps it alive, and the putback by Robert Covington.
Well, now for Austin Peay, settle down, get Caleb Brown some on-ball screens just like that. Look for TyShwan Edmondson, get him quality touches.
Tennessee State has scored the only 4 points here in overtime and a whistle away from the ball. And Patrick Miller called for the foul, his 4th. That'll put Austin Peay at the line, a 1-1, the 9th team foul on Tennessee State. And it's John Fraley to shoot it. He is 1 of 1 from the line today. 57% on the year. 3 points for Fraley today. Oh, hit all parts of the rim and fell through.
Wipe the paint off the ball and play on that one.
One more for John Fraley. The junior from Clarksville rattles it out. Rebound cleared. Kenny Moore for Tennessee State. Austin Peay 1 of 3 at the line in overtime.
Well, there's your trap.
Timeout taken. Timeout Tennessee State. And with 3:02 left here in overtime, and Tennessee State leading by 3 in danger of another turnover, they get a timeout.
Yeah, Will Peters took the ball in exactly the wrong direction. Here he comes up the sideline. Whenever Austin Peay can get you to turn your head toward the sideline, there's the trap right there as they run and jump the basketball. Now the sideline is an extra defender, and that leads to turnovers. John Cooper with the timeout from the bench.
Right now, John Cooper diagramming a play in his huddle. So is Dave Luce on the other side for Tennessee State. Is Dave Luce talking more defense or offense right now?
Well, Dave Luce, definitely defense. They've got to get a stop right here. In order to stop, you've got to do 2 things against Tennessee State. 1, take away the dribble penetration, especially from Patrick Miller. I would deny him the basketball, not give him a touch, and then focus on Kenny Moore. Make sure he doesn't break 3 from the 3-point line or go inside and score from the block.
For those of you expecting to see Boston College and Miami, it's coming up after our overtime here in Nashville. 3-point lead for Tennessee State.
Caleb Brown was able to make his teammates better with plays like that to TyShwan Edmondson. And look at the fake pass right there, perfectly executed by Patrick Miller. And then the tie game right there from Kenny Moore. That's how this Tennessee State team came back with Patrick Miller and Kenny Moore going back-to-back, a 3 and a deuce.
69-66 Tennessee State. They led by as many as 16 in the first half. They led by 6 at halftime. Then Austin Peay led by 7 down the stretch, but Tennessee State fought back, tied the game late on a bucket by Kenny Moore. And we're in overtime right now, 3:02 remaining, and Tennessee State clinging to a 3-point lead.
And looking at John Cooper's grease board during the timeout, you could see it on your screen. They're looking at an on-ball screen up top for Will Peters, and then he was talking to his team about getting better spacing off the penetration.
Also, if you're looking for BC and Miami, you can catch it online right now at ESPN3.com. As that game underway in Coral Gables. At ESPNU, those of you watching, you'll get it when we're done. 3-pointer. Peters hits to put Tennessee State up 6. 46% from downtown this year. Peters with a huge shot. Edmondson the miss. The tip, no. Loose inside. Peters runs it down in the corner for Tennessee State. Behind the defense, way ahead. Pulling it back out, Michael Green. And he throws it away. Stolen by Edmondson. Edmondson, pull-up 3 in transition. Whoa, a big shot by Edmondson. Cuts the lead in half.
Gutsy.
Edmondson with 30. His 3rd 30-point game of his junior season. TyShwan Edmondson pulls Austin Peay within 3 inside 2 minutes to go in overtime.
Watch for number 2 in white, Patrick Miller, on the far side of your screen in the corner.
Shot clock at 8. Peters on the go. Into the lane. Moore fires. Rebound. Pulled down. Will Peters, the long rebound, backs it out. Edmondson a steal at midcourt. Takes it in. Fouled. Intentional foul against Kenny Moore. The bucket for Edmondson. That could prove to be disastrous for Tennessee State.
We've talked about TyShwan Edmondson and his ability to play offense. How about his ability to play defense? Gets a deflection and then the steal and pulls the trigger from way downtown. Then he doesn't give up on the next play. Anticipates the play. Comes down and scores. Intentional foul. The basket plus 2 free throws plus possession.
Second foul on Moore. Edmondson at the line, 1 of 3 today. Shooting 2 on the intentional foul. And then Austin Peay will keep the ball, 1:36 left here in overtime.
He was fouled by his junior college teammate, Kenny Moore.
Edmondson ties the game, has also tied his career high of 33. He had 33 earlier this season against Eastern Illinois.
I'm amending my MVP statement.
You're allowed to do that. We're only in the 7th game of conference play.
Man, did he show me something? That sequence, just competitive drive.
Edmondson can't get the second. It spins out. Austin Peay will have the ball on the baseline in a tie game with 1:36 to go here in the extra session. Again, coming up next, or right now on ESPN3, Boston College in Miami in Coral Gables.
Edmondson wide open in the offside corner. He's still open.
Doesn't even look at the basket, backs it out.
There's only one guy I'm giving the ball to coming down the stretch. That's TyShwan Edmondson, number 12 in red. There he is.
Drives at Covington, the floater. Can't get it. Rebound, last touch, underneath by Austin Peay, Tennessee State ball. 1:18 left in overtime.
Baseline official wasn't sure. Rotated out to the outside official. Very well done by the officiating crew.
Will Peters brings the ball up. Stride for stride with him, Caleb Brown.
Tennessee State seems confused offensively as to what set they're in.
They have 1 timeout left if they want to use it. Here is Moore out top.
Well, you got to look for Patrick Miller here, number 2 in white. He or Kenny Moore, number 15 in white.
5 on the shot clock. Into the lane, Peters spins, hits! Will Peters puts Tennessee State up 2.
Will Peters, big situation. 3, 2, 1, gets it off. This kid is a walk-on, making winning plays against the undefeated Austin Peay Governors.
And Will Peters gives Tennessee State a 2-point lead. The officials are checking the monitor courtside, and it's again a clock issue here at the Gentry Center. This is what they're checking to see where it should stop after the made bucket from Peters.
About 43-3. Gonna have about a second and a half.
And he hit it also with 1 on the shot clock mark. Boy, that was clutch. Will Peters, in addition to 14 points, 8 assists in the game, 1 off a career high.
He's a former walk-on. Here they call him the walk-on warrior. I'd have to agree with that nickname.
Austin Peay down 2.
If I'm Tennessee State, I'm going to deny TyShwan Edmondson the basketball. From Austin Peay, I'm going to get him the ball just like that.
They almost turn it over. Edmondson flips it out to Brown near midcourt. Drives in the lane. The lean in. Baker ties the game with 23.6 to go.
Remember, John Cooper has a timeout that he can use.
Do you like to go in this situation?
With his young team, I'm calling a timeout.
10 seconds. Tied here in overtime.
Dribble penetration for Peters.
Peters spins, shoots, hits! The officials have stopped play after the bucket from Peters. They're going to check the monitor again to see how much time should remain. There was 1.5 on the clock when Peters hit the bucket. At least that's what stopped on the clock. We'll see if they add any time.
About 2.2, 2.3. But how about Will Peters? This kid was a walk-on. That means he had no scholarship. He wasn't good enough to get a scholarship at Tennessee State. He's good enough today.
Timeout taken by Austin Peay. They still have plenty of them if Dave Luce so chooses to use them. 2.1 on the clock, Tennessee State by 2.
In late game situations, Dave Luce has a play where oftentimes he'll allow the guy taking the ball out of bounds to move without the ball along the baseline, with the idea of one of his players setting a screen actually along the baseline to draw the foul in order to go to the free throw line. He's drawing up that exact play right now. He's going to try to draw a foul by moving the man along the baseline, running the baseline, setting a screen on a defender, taking a dive, and trying to get to the line to tie this thing again.
Remember, coming up next, Boston College and Miami. ACC action here on ESPN. You can catch it right now on ESPN3.
Option 2 for Dave Luce. If he doesn't get the foul, then you've got Caleb Brown circling off a screen. He's going to be curling toward the basket so he can get a shot. But most likely, TyShwan Edmondson sets a back screen, catches it at about the half-court line to his basket, and lets it fly for the win.
We saw them, Mark, at the end of practice yesterday, working on late clock situations, going full court just like this. Dave Luce sends Justin Blake into the game. Out there, it's Brown, Edmondson, Blake, Baker, and Fraley for Austin Peay. Down 2, 2.1 to play. Josh Terry will play it in, but first, John Cooper uses that timeout.
In some ways, it helps Dave Luce right here because no one was defending on the ball along the baseline, so the option to draw a foul is now gone.
It is their final timeout. Tennessee State out of timeouts. Austin Peay still has a couple of them.
Dave Luce will now try to set a play where TyShwan Edmondson will set a back screen. He'll be very deep in the offense, in other words, toward the Austin Peay basket. He'll try to set a back screen to force his defender to help on the long ball. He will come right to the ball. The first option is TyShwan Edmondson around the half-court area, and he's got 2 seconds. That's 2 dribbles to get off a shot.
Austin Peay trying to go to 7-0 in Ohio Valley play. Tennessee State trying to keep everybody in the conference race. They need a win to help the entire league out to keep Austin Peay from running away with it.
If you're John Cooper, there you see his grease board with circles in certain areas of the court. What he wants to do is keep the ball in front so nothing gets behind his defense and they can contest a 2.1 left shot.
There's Edmondson, career high tying 33. Terry runs the baseline. Looking. Timeout. Tennessee State's bench was screaming for a 5-second call. Here's John Cooper, goes over to Quentin Reese to talk about it. They still have a timeout if they want to use it. Here's how we got here. Will Peters.
Will, the walk-on warrior. Under 5 to go. This is a kid that did not have a scholarship 2 seasons ago, and now he's making plays like this. Amazing.
And the walk-on warrior is the difference here in overtime. 16 points for Peters. Also 8 assists for the Tennessee State point guard. Again coming up, Boston College visiting Miami in the ACC. Green will ball pressure the big man for Tennessee State, number 44. And Josh Terry again will run the baseline to put it in.
Boy, they had Edmondson and missed him.
Here's Blake, midcourt, short, ball game over. Tennessee State hangs on, handing Austin Peay their first loss in Ohio Valley play.
Austin Peay gets off a shot. I believe that the game clock was at 0-0 before he let it go. Gutty performance by Tennessee State.
Once again, our final score. In overtime, Tennessee State 76, Austin Peay 74. The proceeding has been an exclusive presentation of ESPN, the worldwide leader in sports. Let's send it to Miami and to Rich Hollenberg and Bob Balbano.
I don't want any celebration. Get out of the locker room. Go.
Good job.
Great job.
Good job.